Yo, man. This sister over here, man. I'm trying to see what's good, dude.
To my homie over there with the hair, man?
Yeah, man. She definitely look like she charged some crystals, man.
Yo, she definitely could align your chakra for real.
Yeah, that juju right, man. Let me see what's good. See if she carry herself like a goddess. Dido sit in his king chair. I need me a queen here. My jeans ain't that baggy. I ain't wearing no tight gear. Harlem, New York. I talk with Malcolm and Garvey walk. I only kill that mattress. Draw your outline in body chalk. I ain't trying to be nasty, but I tell if you ask me. Plus these sisters need to know my lap ain't no fag seat. No haste for procreation. I ain't wasting your company. Love to be the guard of your prayers and catch a felony. Ready to protect you from the sheriffs and his deputies. Now check me. I ain't Mayweather, but I hit that bag to make it last. I walk the path, need some healing from the whiplash. Usain Bolt, I season tracks, come be my Mrs. Dash. I'm Dido Green, tell my daughter, baby, stack your cash. What's the 411? Let me know, son. What's the 411? What's the 411, queen?
What's the 411, king?
I'm about to do my thing.
Yeah, you about to do your thing.
What's the 411, queen?
What's the 411, king?
I'm about to do my thing.
Yeah, you about to do your thing.
What's the 411, queen?
What's the 411, king?
I'm about to do my thing.
Yeah, you about to do your thing.
What's the 411, queen?
What's the 411, king?
Yeah, I did my thing.
Yeah, I know you did your thing. Yeah, bro, what makes you different from the next brother? Black power speech, would you really face this beef? I hope the heart inside your chest intact. Have you rapping, tapping out if I throw this back? I ain't got no time for Uncle Tom's, that's a Becky's man. On the block the next day, screaming free the land. Black inside, but in your heart, there's a whiter man. I'm not having that, no, I'm not having that. I'm the goddess, you the god, that's how it's got to be. I'm Jasira, ain't no coons running up in me. I've seen it happen to my sister and her friend Shanice. Righteous step, respect, protect, then we'll be free. So if you with it and earn your 7 digits, then I trust you'll catch me if I fall. If you with it, let's decipher chemist walls. Yeah, so what's the 411, huh?
Yo, Che Black, I seen Shorty from way back. I think she right, brother.
Yeah, what's up, man? She giving you that flavor? What's good with that?
All that flavor, all 32 Baskin Robbins ain't got nothing on her. That juju is correct.
Good word, I heard that, man.
Yo, man, Pastor Green need a first lady. I think this is it.
Shit, man, go holler, man. Go in with it, man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see what's up. Trying to go season vegan, baby.
All this love, all you can have.
Dido Green knows you're special.
All my life I fight for you.
I need your strength to pull me through.
You need me and I need you.
Dido Green's very special.
Singing to you, the spirit divine.
The sound of your voice helps me refine.
A black man's love is meant for me.
Jasira, you're something kind of special.
Black love is right, worth the life that I'm living. You're very special.
Yeah, What's the 411, queen?
What's the 411, king?
I'm about to do my thing.
Yeah, you about to do your thing.
I said, what's the 411, queen?
What's the 411, king?
Yeah, you know I did my thing.
Yeah, I know you did your thing.
All right. Peace and love, power, and welcome to another episode of Knowledge Radio. Place for Knowledge Born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Live. We're here in celebration in honor of those who move those pens, but not quite like this, okay? They move their pens so well that their pens and their quills is made of platinum, okay? They don't have any kind of pens, okay? They have to go get them custom made from the Quill Platinum Factory, okay? Because we got Platinum Quill Publications in here, husband and wife, making things happen, tearing up the pages, ripping up the stages, whatever you want to have going on here to celebrate, to honor Black love, Black solidarity. And we're here on the tribe called Success Series to hear a word from the mastermind. So it becomes an honor and privilege at this time to introduce some present others. A masterful author, publisher, one half of a dynamic duo that is sweeping across the nation and the world. Our sister Butterfly is in the building. Peace and love to you, sister. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Supreme greetings, Brother Love. We're vainglorious. How are you?
Hey, I'm working on my tan. You understand what I'm saying? Working on my
I
tan.
understand.
They say the blacker the berry, the better the book. Okay, so I'm striving to get black so my book could be better. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Excited to have you here and on with us. Shout out to Queen Mother Lenana for connecting us together in this awesome experience. So, for you and your king, how did y'all get started platinumizing pens?
Yes, big love to Nelena Supercar. She is the original Catwoman, Wonder Woman, and Storm all rolled into one. And she
Talk about
does
it.
leap tall buildings with a single bound. So we are ever grateful for her for always creating a space for us, all of us authors, all of us. So big love to her. Thaddeus Kane and I, how we got started. We were actually introduced, we came together on the power of scent. We were introduced by a mutual friend. And Thaddeus is a musician. So he was at a music conference, and it was probably, I think, the last day of the conference. People were wrapping up and packing up and doing their final goodbyes and so forth. And he was about to leave. I think he was walking out, and the mutual friend of ours, T was walking in, and T doubled back and said, "Brother, what is that oil you're wearing?" And that started their conversation. So they connected on the scent, they connected on the music. And Thaddeus said to our mutual friend T, I'm really interested in publishing, right? I have some books that I want to publish. And so, of course, they exchange information and so forth. And sometime later, they did link up, they talked, they shared. And Thaddeus was still asking T about the books. So T called me and he says, "Sis, I met this brother. He is so cool brother. You should, I'm watching my words a little bit. Can we curse on this show? We shouldn't curse on
Yes,
this show.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Tell your story. I need the story. Okay, we looking at the titles of the books. Okay, do not hold back the language. Okay, speak the language. We need to know it.
Right. So T was saying, he's a cool ass brother, and he was asking me about book publishing, and I thought of you because you're like probably the only person I know that's actually published books. Because at that time in another life, I was a music historian, a music historian curator, and music history book consultant. So he said, you were the person I thought of. And is it okay if I give him your information? I'll give you his number as well. I said, okay. I said, well, how are his books? Have you read his books? And he said, "Sis, on the real, I don't know nothing about them books, but that music is sick." And so that started our journey. He did reach out. Thaddeus reached out to me, and we talked, we shared, we talked about the books. And our conversation initially was real brief. And then sometime later, he did tell me, he said, "Well, I'm gonna send you the books and so forth, what I've written so far." And then sometime later, I hadn't heard from him. I don't know what it is to be an artist in this barbaric society. And I do place emphasis on barbaric. And it can be very challenging. So I reached out to him to make sure everything was okay. You're okay with your art, your music, the books. And that's when we started a much longer conversation. And that conversation turned into another conversation and another conversation. And then as they say, the rest is history.
Okay. My brother was rolling the dice over here. I see this book title, Love is a Gamble. Okay, look, okay.
Yes. That is true. That is true. We connected sight unseen, a very strong connection. And so we actually would not meet face to face for some months later.
Shout out to T.
Mhm.
Okay. T
Yes,
is the
big love to
hero.
T.
Okay.
Yes,
Shout out
we
to
love
T.
T. Yes, he's a beautiful brother, beautiful spirit. Absolutely. He is that. Mm-hmm.
He said, look, I don't be reading, sis, okay, but the music, don't be asking me about no books and all that. You understand what I'm saying? But y'all can make beautiful music together, okay? Look at T.
Yes.
T working and conspiring on y'all's behalf, okay? He was like, brother, that shoe smelling like, okay. Hey, all of the cylinders is on go, okay? I love it. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay. Yes. That's a movie right there. You just told me a whole movie in a few seconds. Okay. So the rest is history. So where does the publishing and the books and the stuff, where do we get to that particular point in
Okay.
y'all
So,
platinum
mhm.
love affair that y'all got going on?
Yeah. So, about a year later, of course, we had discussed the books. We looked at the books and I reviewed the books. Of course, we had a whole lot of talks about books. We had more talks about music. And about a year after our courtship, we were married. Um, my husband, he is originally from, actually, he's born in DC, but he's originally from Florida. He was raised there, and his family is from Florida. And so he came up to Maryland. We are in the Be More Bodaciously Beautiful. Don't believe everything you see in The Wire. It's a beautiful city with beautiful people. And so he came here. And initially, we focused more on music, actually. And so we built a studio, and Thaddeus delved more into the music aspect. And that set us up to become members of the nonprofit community. We set up the studio as a space and place for youth to come and record and create and share their music, publish their music, market their music as a nonprofit organization. So we offer discount or free studio time to lots of youth in Baltimore City. So we focused much of our energy on our nonprofit and our community efforts. So the books come into play a little later, a few years later. We were initially submitting our books to various publishers. And that is, of course, after Thaddeus grew a little bit thicker skin. I definitely have an editorial nature, and he was not necessarily ready to have his books ripped apart. I'm going to say it that way because that's probably how he felt. But that's not exactly what I was doing, of course. And so we definitely were butting heads initially with the publishing and editing and creating books. Please believe. Okay. So after some time, probably about a few months of some push and pull, we let it rest. We gave it a rest. And we tabled the books and we tabled the publishing for a little while. And That gave Thaddeus some time to grow that thicker skin. And it also gave him some time to teach me how to finish a book. I've always been a writer. Writing is probably the only thing I've ever really, really wanted to do from a little girl. I was about 7 years old, I think, when I wrote my first poem. I was 7 years old when I became completely enthralled with my second grade creative writing class. And writing is the only thing I've ever really wanted to do. For me as an adult, when I started writing in my adulthood, poetry is my first love. Did a lot of live poetry sets, a lot of spoken word sets, lot of poetry all around me. I started writing books, but didn't know how to finish writing a book. So during that time when we were tabling the actual publishing of our books, Thaddeus was also showing me, he would say, he gave me the game, and he did. He showed me how to finish a book. And so once his skin grew a little thicker, he was really ready. And once I understood how to finish books, that's when we became more serious about actually publishing. So we tightened up what we already had written, which was the Soul of a Man collection. Those are books that he wrote. And then I did a whole lot of the editing. We queried some publishers, and we got a very positive response, and we signed to Major Key Publishing. Shout out to Kiana Nicole. Kiana Nicole is beautiful spirit. We learned so much from her, and I mean so much. And she is as cool as a fan as they come. So we signed to her. And if you're not familiar with Major Key, you might be familiar with, I think it's Royalty House Publishing, and then Leo Sullivan Presents. They all come out of that school of publishing. So we initially signed to Kiana. We had success there, great learning experience. And then we decided to venture out on our own. And that's when we actually republished the Soul of a Man collection. We changed the books up. We went into some deeper editing, some real heavy, intense developmental editing. And then we republished Soul of a Man under Platinum Quill, our own company. But before Platinum Quill is when we wrote Red Ink, which is really our magnum opus at this time. We wrote and published Red Ink first. Mm-hmm.
So, man, you said another movie again, okay? Another movie.
Well,
Like, we're
amazing.
going from movie to movie. I love it. Go ahead.
It's amazing that you say that, because many of our readers, they do say we write like a reel. When you start reading the book, you forget that you are reading and you begin to watch the story unfold. You see, and that is the idea. I always remind people who come to me and ask me questions about publishing and reading and writing and what does it take, and they ask for advice. And that is a point that I share with anyone who's aspiring, who wants to get in publishing or wants to make their writing better, is there's a point where your readers should feel like they're not reading anymore. And then you have really achieved your goal.
I love that. I love that. So initially y'all focused on music and y'all was making beautiful music together, and then the music got a little beep, 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 because you was dancing to your rhythm and he was dancing to his rhythm, and he was looking at you like, babe, like, why you stepping up my foot? Okay, like, I'm showing you my books. Like, did you even read the book? Like, all this red ink on my book, babe? Like, how could you see it through all of this red ink over all of the pages? Like, I don't understand this. Like, I thought you loved me. Okay, I thought you loved the way I make my music. Like, you like, babe, I love the way you make your music. Okay, This ain't the music. The music is the music. This is what I do. I live here. I've been living here since I was 7. Okay, I'm living here since I was 7. Okay, let me do what I do. He's like, all right, you're right. You're right. Okay, Okay, so y'all got that together in this heart space where everybody's sensitive. Is often the time where it becomes tumultuous and people start looking for an exit. When trials come, people start going back into their spaces and corners and stuff like that. Like, I don't really like you like that no more. You understand what I'm saying? How are y'all able to navigate through those pain points to where y'all saw each other still and was able to get to this point where y'all made the decision and you like, okay, he knows how to finish a book. I'll be writing for 25 days and years and stuff like that. I got a bunch of stuff started, but nothing done. Like, how were y'all able to see each other and work through that without parting ways? Because, you get close to somebody's sensitive space and they be spacing out. You understand what I'm saying? So
I do
hopefully that
understand
question
exactly
makes
what you're
sense.
saying. Oh, it makes a whole lot of sense. And what we were able to do is to always come back to the love and the friendship. Because one thing that Thaddeus and I are, if we're nothing else, we're definitely friends. So we're friends first. So you remember I told you the story of us coming together. There was a friendship that was really building initially. See, so we're friends, and then we're lovers, and we're partners. So we were always able to come back to the friendship and the love. I always say that friendship, when you're talking about marriage, friendship is the foundation and love is the house. So that was our own cosmic understanding of how we come together, because that is the way we came together. It was really the friendship that was budding. And of course, for us, the creative fire forged that friendship. Our friendship is forged in a creative fire. So, and the love was grown from there. We built the love that way. So we were always able to come back to the friendship because we're really friends first.
Friendship, force, and fire. Foundation.
Right. Love is the house. Just like the Force MD said, love is the house. Friendship
Yes.
is the foundation. Be friends. I always tell young people, they ask us about love and marriage and getting together and how you stay together. That's the thing. How do you stay together? Is be friends. Be friends first. You see. And inside friendship, that's where the golden rule lives. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. See. And that's another thing. We were both raised in that way, talking about our clans from where we come from, right? Our tribes, stay on the tribe called success. His tribe, my tribe, we were both raised with that kind of understanding, those kinds of principles. Be kind to others. You want people to be kind to you, you be kind to them. And there's a whole lot of reasons that's a whole nother show. There's a whole lot of reasons why people don't carry that into love relationships. But that is a principle that should be applied first and foremost in any relationship, especially someone that you claim to love and that you're married to.
I need that whole other show. Okay, I'm writing it down. So
Yes,
do that.
yes.
So hopefully you
Yeah.
and Thaddeus can make that at the same time, and he could tell me the remix. He was like, look, I was playing this guitar on the cloud, and an epiphany came to me. Like, I need somebody in my life that's gonna take care of me and bring me back alive. Okay, and then this butterfly who came by any wings necessary, and she saved my life. Okay, now I need you to know that she saved my life. You'd be like, oh, you're so sweet, babe. Like, Okay, see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I need all of that. I need all of that gushy black love because if read some of these books and look on some of these TV shows and movies and things like that, I'm like black love on the screen and on the page. I'm like, what is this? Who is they talking about? I don't know no black people like this. Okay, like I don't know them like that in relationships. So for writing, if I could ask, do you struggle with the representation that you see? Like, is it a proper depiction from your perspective? And not, how does your writing aid in changing that particular narrative for black couples, black love, black people?
We don't struggle with writing black love, right? We do feel a rage, an anger, a frustration when we see black love not depicted as much as it should be. Although it's out here, that's for sure. It is out here, and especially in the books. There are lots of really awesome, I mean, extraordinary black independent authors that are writing beautiful black love stories. So we definitely, we're always about the love has to be there. It has to be there. It's a requirement. So anything we write is always going to be in some kind of way uplifting black love, black power, black excellence. That's where we live. We black ass people writing about black ass people, writing about black ass love, because that's what we do
Amen.
and that's where we
Okay.
live. So always, love is there. We don't struggle with putting it on the page. We're very conscious of it. We're very intentional about writing black love and black power and black excellence, which is how Red Ink, our current magnum opus, that's how Red Ink comes about. Red Ink is essentially about the black book business. It's about black authors and black publishers and black readers, and it is based on our own observations in space and time in the black book business, where many times it can be hard to find the love, right? But even so, we wrote the love in there because it is there and it does exist. We just need to focus on it more. So that's what Red Ink does. It covers a whole lot of what does happen behind the scenes in the black book business, but it is definitely a love story. Because ultimately, in some kind of way, all of our books, all of our stories, there will be black love.
I got my hand on my heart. Then I had to remember.
Mhm.
Excuse me, I had to hold the microphone. Like, wait a minute, you got to hold the
Yo,
microphone. Like, wait, can I hold my heart and the microphone at the same time with the same hand? I'm gonna have to make it do what it
hold
do.
on.
Okay.
I wanted to say this. I'll say this. It it can tell you a place where Thaddeus comes from. It's a story that just came to me as I was talking about the black love. Okay, so you can understand a space and place where we come from. Some time ago, he's in the studio. I'll actually send you some of the links where you can listen to his music. So he's in the studio, used to be in a band, right? And so they are recording, and it's the band is they were really really awesome. So they're recording. It's their sound is pop, rock, soul, R&B, rap. I mean, it's a combination of everything. So one of the members is writing some lyrics, right, for a song, and he is writing a rap lyric, and he says something like, "Gonna turn your daughter into a thought." Thot, that that term, right? And you hear that a lot, thoughts and bitches and hoes and all this kind of language in rap music, right? In so-called hip hop. And so he was writing the lyrics, and he wrote the lyrics, and so he's starting to hum, because they're creating. It was four of them. So they're all creating and tossing out, what they've written, what they're doing, how they're gonna come about with this song. And so he says, turn your daughter into a thought. And the daddy's like, ho, 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 ho. Wait a minute, bruh. You might be thinking that, and you might could say that right here, but you can't say that on the record. You can't say that on the record because there's no love in it. You understand?
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
if I can give you a story that shows you where we come from as far as penning Black love, that's one of my favorite stories, one of my favorite experiences of, and that I have quite a few of Thaddeus Kane in the studio, right? Even when the young people come, and he's always mindful not to censor them, but he does offer his insights and his wisdom in molding them to write better, to write higher, to elevate their thoughts, to elevate their pens, to elevate those lyrics and wrap them in love somewhere, somehow, some way.
I love that. I love it. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. And we need it. Okay, we need it. We need it. It's healing. It's motivational, and it's real. You know, it's real because this is where you build principles from. You know, I heard through the grapevine that y'all will not back down from y'all principles. Y'all is not changing near another for a near another. Okay, I heard through the grapevine that that's a true statement. You know, I definitely would want you, if you could, for a moment, just to expound on that, and you know, have y'all become hardwired in that mentality of staying on this path right here with so
That
much
sounds like a
flip
grapevine
floppy.
named Super. That sounds like a grapevine named Super Kai. First name Elena. That's what that sounds like to me. Well, again, that truly, I know for me, let me think for a moment on Thaddeus, but I know for me, that comes from my tribe. I'm going to stay with the language. That's how I was raised. So I can't necessarily even per se take credit for it. I guess other than my own spirit has manifested those principles that I was raised on. I was raised that way. My mothers, and I was raised by mothers mostly. My fathers are significant, but my mothers, and that's my mama, that's my grandmama maternal, that's my grandmama paternal, right? They raised me that way. My aunties, same thing. Women who stand in their convictions, that's just where they gonna be. You see? What's ringing in my head in this moment, and I guess because I just had a conversation with a brother just before we got on the radio, and I was saying we were discussing a variety of things, but what was coming to me and what I was sharing with him is my maternal grandmother, Big Lou, and of course that means she wasn't so big, right? Big Lou would say, "You ought to know a lie when you hear one, girl." You see, you hear the tone of my voice.
Definitely.
Right. You hear what she was communicating to me, to us, because not just me, not just my mama, the cousins, the friends, right? You ought to know a lie when you hear one, girl. See, that's what I come from. I come from those kinds of, they breathed that into me. They just didn't tell me. They just didn't show me. They breathed it into me. It's another fire. The fire of wisdom, the fire of using your own mind, having your own thoughts. My mother and I have had a challenged relationship, but I always remind her that you prayed for me in your own prayer. My mama would pray this prayer over me out loud and say, God, please, just give me a daughter that will have her own mind. Oh God, please let her have her own mind. Let her not be easily led. Let her have her own mind and her own thought. You prayed for this. Be careful what you pray for. Okay? Because, of course, that has certainly presented challenges in our relationship as mother and daughter, you see. But you prayed for this. My father, the same way. My father I'm actually probably a lot more like my father than my mother, though my mother and my mothers, all my mamas raised me. But I'm actually probably most like him. And certainly he too a musician like Thaddeus. He was a musician, a poet, a writer, and an outside of the box thinker. Way outside of the box. Way, way, way. And I mean way outside. So to ask me that question, that's the answer. I was raised to be that way. It's a fire that was breathed into me. Now for Thaddeus, it's probably similar to some degree, because his mama, may she rest in purple peace, was certainly a firecracker of sorts for sure. And he comes from a tribe of extraordinary women and men for that matter. It's a lot of strong, convicted men in his clan as well. So, but hopefully you'll have that other show and he can certainly jot that down. He'll answer that question for you. But for me, sitting here, just thinking of it in this moment, I would say it comes from his tribe also. Because, to give you a little background on him, with his music especially, those gifts are inherited again from his maternal side. His grandmother was a pianist. She played organ in church. And his mother the same, you see. Mm-hmm. Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay.
I was processing. I was taking it in because in this space of that's another thing that's misrepresented. You know, we have principles, we have morals. We come from righteous families. We don't get that out in the public eye. You know, by design. I mean, that's another show also. We did
Yes.
it. But the righteous stories aren't told. Not even the righteous stories. The things that they try to fabricate. I'm like, oh, they don't know no black people.
Yes. So true.
Right. So I'm like, even this, like, no, I'm like, okay, who's in the writing room? What
Yes.
what color are they? I'm like, oh, this is supposed to be an urban tale? Like, nah, that doesn't work. So even when you said The Wire, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, there was some evidence of things missing. They wrote about themselves very well, but they didn't write about us very well. So I was like, okay, some opportunities were given, but these other aspects, it's just like certain stuff. I'm like, come on, like, word, fam. But that's a thing right there. So I'm glad that these principles are hardwired in a way that are an inheritance, in the physical realm and in the ancestral realm. I think that's very amazing, and I'm glad that you took the time to highlight this. I want to play these two little clips that I got, and then we could get into this y'all tribe superhero story. Like, how did y'all link out with the superheroes and this book and all of that? Because I know you got some things to say, so I'm gonna play these clips that I found right quick.
Okay.
Come caress my saddened heart, my sunrise and my darkest dreams. All my hostilities tamed when you kiss me. Come into my darkened room. Come where I'm waiting. I'm waiting here just to please you. want is you. To love only. All I want is you. Don't nobody hold me. Don't nobody kiss me the way you do. Nobody, no. Don't nobody hold me. Don't nobody kiss me the way you do. Nobody. Not a day goes by that I don't burn for you. Find myself yearning for the heaven that you bring me from your black hands. Touch me, touch me. Wanna feel you inside me. All I want is you.
Yeah, I found these clips somewhere, so I was like, these are apropos, you know, for the situation.
Yes, I appreciate you. The second one, the one for Red Ink, the music is actually a Thaddeus Kane original. That's his composition.
Mm, I had a feel. Something was like, yeah. So, these book titles to see your work immortalized in this fashion. How does it feel? From something you dreamed about doing from a child to actually having these things come to fruition. And then if you could tie in the story on the Tribe Called Success and the super group and how that story went as well.
Tribe Called Success. I cannot quite recall how I linked with Nelena Supakai. Let me think about that for a half a second here. I know she has the group Tribe Called Success on Facebook, but we certainly had many, many, many conversations off Facebook. And I think that's probably where we were brought together, was the Facebook group. And I probably just reached out to her. And that's what I think. I think I may have messaged her just in general, kind of, hey, how are you? And we're connected because we're both mistresses of the pen. So it was that kind of messaging. And she talked to me about Tribe Called Success. And of course, I was in the group. I could see very well what she was doing, what she was about, where she was coming from. Of course, then I started reading her books. Her pen is, I mean, there's read her books. I mean, she is expert. expert pen, extraordinary writer. And that's why I call her Super Kai for a whole lot of reasons. And one of those reasons is definitely her pen. Super Kai, she is she is a superheroine in book world. She is a master at bringing people together. She's a master at elevating the talents of writers. She's a master of that for sure. So if I'm not mistaken, I think we came together. It was the Facebook group. Like I said, I think I reached out to her and we started talking. She shared with me again the Tribe Called Success. And of course, it was awesome. She draws you right in. She has that kind of personality. It's magnetic at the very least. And again, her expertise and her willingness. This for me was the most magnetic factor of her personality, is her willingness to show up and share. You don't find that a whole lot amongst Black authors, writers, and publishers in the Black book business. She was and is so transparent and so willing to share all of her knowledge and all of her expertise. She's always been that way. I know with me, and I know with so many others. And that's why she's Super Kai. From the Super Shy, we love her. So that's how we came together. And so anything that she's working on, I guess me and Thaddeus are kind of honorary tribe members in a way. We're not tribe per se, because she does have her cavalcade of authors that she works with diligently every day, day in and day out. She represents them to the fullest. She's their literary agent. She gets them, book deals, very just awesome book deals, excellent publishing deals with outstanding publishers. She's always there for them to expand and explore with their pens, to elevate their writing, to make them better and greater and wider. She does that every day. So we are very much on the periphery, but she always includes us. And I'm sure some others as well. But she will always reach out to me and say, Butterfly, you want in on this? I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You want in? If you want in, come on in. And that's just who she is. She's an awesome force. And I'm honored to be in her swirl. So that's how we come together. And this specific event, she always does a free book event when she does expos and the in-person kinds of expos. But she had been doing, if I'm not mistaken, she had been giving people like a flash drive with the free books. So now she's just moving it, essentially she's moving it to a website format, right? And that probably is going to make it a whole lot more accessible to a whole lot more people. So she's always hosted a free book event. She was just doing it a little bit differently, along with a whole lot of other things, whole lot of other events. So anybody out there listening, you definitely want to, I'll just say this to you right now. And I'm going to say, especially if you're an author, just to, if nothing else, because again, she only takes certain clients at certain times into the actual tribe. But if you want to sit at the feet of someone who has the wisdom and expertise, who knows the history of the Black book business, who has had all kinds of success as an independent author, as an author who has been published with independent publishers, an author who has been published with the big 5 publishers. She's done it all. If you want to sit at the feet of her knowledge and wisdom, just go into the Facebook group and just be a member and watch and take notes, observe, because it's really, it's really all there. She has books that give you awesome instruction on how to be a better author, how to be a better marketer, a better promoter of your books. So again, she is Super Kai. She waves that cape, baby. Let me be very clear about that. That cape is waving, okay? All the time.
All right.
Now, what
So
was the other part of your question? I answered that. You had another question.
it was like you was asking me something about something. Hey.
You asked me something else, though.
Oh, the first
Yeah.
part of the question was related to just
Uh-huh.
visualization. Actually, just your thoughts on
Oh,
something you
yeah.
wanted to do since you were young. It's actually happening. Like these covers are amazing, the stories are amazing. You have an enthralling experience about Black love in your life, and then in your writing, and then your interactions with people. Like, how does that feel?
The experience overall has been a balanced experience. There is bitter and sweet. The bitter is it can be incredibly challenging with promoting, marketing, and selling your books, right? Can be very challenging. So that's more of the bitter. And the bitter of the book business, again, that's a whole nother show. But I encourage everyone to read Red Ink because we write all about it. Yes, we do. And the sweet we also write about. Um, and that is, like we talked earlier, about the Black love and the Black beauty and the Black excellence also depicted in Red Ink. So for me, it is, again, challenging more so on the business side, I would say, more than anything. But vainglorious, invigorating, enchanting, blissful, wonderful, and magical on the writer creator side. So my spirit is elevated, it's empowered, and I'm always inspired. So I am really ever grateful and really humbled by the Most High entrusting me with a pen because it is a huge responsibility. It's a cosmic responsibility. I'm very clear about that. So I am honored and humbled in that space. So my feeling, I guess, is threefold. You have that, the bitter, just some of the business aspects. And then the very, very sweet is the feeling inspired and invigorated and empowered and elevated. And then that cosmic space, I'm honored and humbled to have been given a gift, a talent that is a huge responsibility for the greater good of the world, really.
Wonderful. How can we best support? Because I think entrenched in the bitter, in my mind at least, I may be incorrect. How can we best support Black authors who are telling our story authentically?
Buy the books, share the books, tell all your reader friends. And these days, because so much of social media and the algorithm savages, they control social media, they control the movement, they control the horizontal and the vertical. These are facts. So we, and I do mean we, that includes me, that includes all of us, we now in these times do have to make an extra effort to seek out the love, the Black love, the positivity. You're going to have to make the extra effort to, online and offline, seek out the good stuff, the beautiful stuff, the excellent stuff. Because the algorithm savages are very intent on making the mediocre, the subpar, the savage, the ugly much more accessible than the beautiful things, than the wonderful things, the empowering things, the inspiring things. You see, and we all see that. It's no secret. You see it happening. So we have to make the extra effort to connect online and offline and spread the word about the beautiful and wonderful things, the beautiful and wonderful authors, Black authors who are telling beautiful Black stories, who are all about the pursuit of and the manifestation of Black excellence. You see, we have to put forth that effort. So that's what we can do. So don't just necessarily, if you're on social media, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can't just scroll your feed. You have to actually make note of and take note of those spaces and places where you do come across the Black love, where you do come across the Black excellence. And then you'll have to go to those pages, go to those profiles yourself. Because the algorithm savages are very intent on you not necessarily seeing those things. So they will not show up in your feed. They won't show up in your scroll. So you have to take note of, oh no, wait, I know this page, these are the profiles that I should visit every day. And then you have to type in the search, or you have to go to your friends list or your like pages and go to those places and spaces and see what's there, buy what's there, support what's there, share what's there. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. Yes,
Yeah.
you
So
have
that,
to train your
yeah,
algorithm away from the savagery and the savages. Yes,
yes.
100%.
So that is the effort, yes, that we do have to make a conscious and intentional effort to do that, because so many people they think they're in control and they're not. The algorithm savages, they are controlling what you see. You think you're in control, but you're not. The only time on social media that you really are empowered and you have control over what you're seeing is if you actually go and see it. Do you see what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's how we can all help each other. And that's something that I've been doing for a long time now, because I've been very clear for many years before they came up with a term for shadow banning and these different kinds of languages that let you know that the algorithm savages are controlling. I've been very, very clear about that for a long time. Now it's much more public. It's much more out in the open. They've got lots of documentaries about it. You had old girl, she went to Congress and talked about it. And she went over to the UK and Parliament, talked about it. You've had lots of hearings with Twitter and Facebook and in Congress and all these kinds of things. So much of it's being exposed now. But many of us have been very clear about what they've been doing for years. Hmm.
Been through that myself. I, I still think, my shadow banned me from the BS. You see what I'm saying? I'm not giving those bastards any power. I think my shadow, my ancestral team kept me away from a lot of stuff. You see what I'm saying? Because with the stuff comes a lot of other stuff. So for the safety of the world and the universe, I think my shadow banned me from a bunch of stuff.
Yes, absolutamente. Yes.
So August 4th through the 6th, I need the backstory before we go through the website. What's going on? Or we can go through the website at the same time.
Again, the 200 Free Book Fest is Nalina Kai and her Tribe Called Success, her cavalcade of authors that she has. Again, usually she would do the flash drive and give away the books in that way, but now she's doing the website. So essentially, it is a fest that she's always done. She's just making it much more broad and I'm sure reaching a whole lot more people. So salute to her. Salute and kudos to Super Kai. August 4th through 6th. Everyone who has the link, sign up for the link. Again, it's all over Facebook. You can go to my page, you'll see it. You'll see it on Thaddeus Kane's page. You're going to see it on Elena's page. You're going to see it on lots of authors' page. You can use the hashtag I like free books. That's the hashtag I like free books. And you're going to see it. Sign up for the tribe's newsletter, and you'll be the first to know when the link is live.
All right. So we're on your website. Can you see
Yeah,
it okay?
I do see our website. I do.
Hey, hey, hey. So we're in there. So let's talk about it if we could.
Okay. This page here, you can sign up email only, or you can include your U.S. postal mail address as well. You sign up either way, you will receive 3 gift books ready for download immediately. When you sign up for U.S. postal mail, we randomly send out paperback books. There's still lots of paperback lovers out there, even with ebooks and audiobooks. People still, especially your super avid readers, they love paperbacks. So we randomly send out paperbacks once a month. So you sign up for the email and the U.S. postal mail subscription, and you might get a surprise in your mailbox.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to randomly receive, something with an autograph in the mail. Okay,
Of
randomly.
course.
Okay, by the grace of God. Okay, once you do it, once
Yeah.
you just I look in the mailbox and be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know them. Okay, it was like you don't know them. Like, look, I got this autograph, fam. Did you get an autograph? That's all I'm saying. Okay, they don't know you like that, man. So that's definitely need all of that. So let's look at the book tab. Let's see. Are we here?
Click a book and you can buy a book. That's the bookshop.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, 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 yes. I'm getting all of the books. Okay, I'm getting all of the books
Beautiful. We
because I
appreciate you for
need,
sure.
yeah, I need all of the signatures on my book.
We will send those to you. Absolutely.
So my mic had went off. I was talking. I
Okay.
gave, I gave a whole I have a dream speech. Nobody heard it.
It happens.
Yeah, I was saying that
Hmm.
in the Baltimore area, one of my brothers has a studio. So if y'all was looking to go somewhere live in person, uh, I got my fam over there with the Melvin Air podcast. Good group of my family members over there.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Please send that information to me.
I need the merch, okay? Merchant, y'all out here merchant, merchified,
Yes.
like that, okay? Look at that black love. Y'all look royal. Look, Man got that guitar. He's like, look, this guitar got me the woman of my dreams. I ain't never putting this guitar down. He got that guitar written
Yeah.
now. Okay, he got it written now. If he ain't got it right now, he got it close by. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this.
We
I
actually
like.
have an
I
Etsy
love
shop.
this. I love
Huh?
this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look,
No,
can
go
I
ahead.
have a moment to celebrate
Yes.
y'all? I write stories with my wife. Okay, look, damn it, look, don't even, okay, don't even in your mind think for a moment, okay. What you need to know about me, fam? I write stories with my wife, fam. Okay, that's it. Okay. All right. Ooh, that was powerful. What was you about to say, fam? Pardon me. Pardon me. I had to.
Oh, it's groovy. We also have an Etsy shop. I'm not sure if the link, there should be a link on here that would take you to the Etsy shop where we do have teas that celebrate book lovers and Black authors. Oh, here are our spinoffs. These are all spinoffs that we're looking at now. These are spinoffs of the Red Ink saga. Because what happens again with our current magnum opus, Red Ink? Red Ink is, I think I sent you, I'm not sure if I sent you the link to the brother book critic and air quotes greatest author alive, R.K. Byers. He actually sums up Red Ink better than we ever could.
I saw
And
it.
you did see it. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
then you know he referenced movies, 3 movies
Yes.
that the
Yes.
book reminds him of. And
Yes.
that's the thing about Red Ink is it is this kind of movie where you see the characters, but the subject matter itself is really the main character of the book. So what happens is these spin-offs that we have give us the backstories of the characters in Red Ink. Because Red Ink itself gives you just a surface look at the characters. You can feel their depth, but not necessarily the details. So all of these spin-offs, they're all novellas, they're really quick reads. These give you the backstories of the couples. And see, this is where the love comes in that we've been talking about. These are all the couples that you see in the Red Ink saga.
With they spicy asses, okay?
Yeah,
Spice.
that's what,
Spice.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely a lot of spice. Now, those are the 3 books that you'll receive when you subscribe. These are gift books here, but they're also for sale. Grassman, which is probably one of my favorite books by us. Grassman, The Unpinkable, which is a really cute, short, sweet fiction book. And Slice of Temptation is a beautiful book as well. This Slice of Temptation is a take on the original creation story of Adam and Eve, kind of a humorous take on, at the same time, it's a very powerful political commentary on the state of the world today as well.
I need that movie right there. Okay.
Yes,
Respectfully. I don't care if it's a short. I don't care how long it is. I need to see the visual. Okay. You got
yes,
this.
yes,
Yeah. Yes. 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 Okay. And I love y'all names on this together just to see it. Okay. That's already.
yes,
I had a moment, right? I had a moment. Okay. Under the
yes,
moonlight. Okay.
yes, brother, yes.
Mm.
And then we have this Butterfly Brooks and Thaddeus Kane, the King Knight Pawn, we're working on. These are works in progress. And so when you talk about how we move in the spirit of who we are as a couple, writing together, you see Bella May, right? You have 2 versions because many times, we agree to disagree, you see. And so with Bella May, we could not agree on the ending. And so I said, well, hey, guess what? You write your ending, I write my ending. The end. So same story, same exact story, because we agreed all the way up until the until the end. Same exact story, two different endings.
Mm, mm, mm. How much passion is in that place when you come to a space like this? Like how much that you can share? Okay, because look, ain't nobody business but your own. Okay,
Right.
how much passion is in this place right here when this is out and you standing on you what you standing on, he's standing on what he's standing on, and y'all looking at each other and y'all like, hmm. He like, hmm. You like, hmm, hmm. And he like, hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, because it feels spicy and it feels fiery, but it feels loving too. Like so, you said agree to disagree. Like that's another miracle. Okay, so
All of the above. You can check letter D for sure. All of the above easily. Yes.
I love this. I think we talked about everything except which books are going to be available by y'all for this 200 book that I asked, or I'm not sure
Well,
because I
since
was.
well, since we're on the website, scroll back up. I'll show you. Okay, stop right there. So Red Ink Rendezvous, Kendley and Kai. That book from me will be available for free during the event. This is the first book. These are all standalones. All the spinoffs are standalones. All the spinoffs are standalones. Readers love to know that. Is this part of a series? Do I have to read this book or that book first? All of the Red Ink spinoffs are standalones. Now, I will say for Latoya and Geronimo, it is advisable that you read Red Ink first. But all the books are definitely a spinoff. So Red Ink Rendezvous, the red one here, Kendley and Kai, that's the book that will be available for the 200 free book fast. And scroll down or up, go up or down. I'm sorry. Lo siento. And so To Love and Love Again, Thaddeus Kane up there on the right. At least it's on the right from where I'm sitting. Mhm. To Love and Love Again will be Thaddeus Kane's free offering for the book fast. And that is actually To Love and Love Again is the first book. Again, these are all standalones. This is the Soul of a Man collection, To Love and Love Again, The Song of a King, and Without Knowing My Way. All standalone, but there are some links. These brothers do know each other. But again, all the books are standalones. Essentially, the beauty of the Soul of a Man collection is you have three different men facing the same love challenges, but you see the different ways that they handle those challenges. And you see the different ways that the same challenge of finding that one person, that soulmate, you just get to see the different ways that those challenges manifest in their lives. So, To Love and Love Again, Malachi's Reprieve is actually our bestseller to this day. We probably sold more of that book than any of our other books.
So what's one of his books where you looked at him in a different way? If y'all ever discussed it, and what do you think was one of the books that of yours that he read where he looked at you another kind of way y'all spoke about?
I don't think any of his books made me look at him in a different way. I'm pretty clear on the layers of who he is. Now, for him, I will say there were no book, but certain scenes in Red Ink that I wrote that just he's saying, I can't believe you wrote that. I can't believe you wrote that.
Uh,
certain spicy scenes. He was like, oh my goodness,
hey,
I can't believe you wrote that. And I'm saying, why can't you believe that? But I mean, really deep down, he can, but he can't. He can, but he can't believe it. But overall, we're pretty clear on the layers of who we are, and because we do, I mean, we write together. So much of our writing is unfurling at the same time. hmm once we start writing a story.
okay, okay, okay. So the spice was like, huh, okay. Put that pen down, fam. I need to, I need to have a board meeting. Meeting of the minds. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. I love
Brother Allah, you are a lot of things.
it. um, I got black ink. Mine is black ink. You know, the red ink. I save it for y'all. Y'all do it well. Mine is the black ink.
Yes.
Oh, that I'm talking about. I love it. I gotta live vicariously through y'all because y'all's minds are advanced in those spaces, and I just want to give credence and ode to the story, and I want to go behind the scenes as much as I can, you know, to uncover the untold story that should be told within the story that's told. So that's where my mind is most of the time.
And your mind is in a beautiful place. We are grateful for you.
By any wings necessary, okay?
Yes.
I heard somebody said that. I heard somebody had said that.
hmm
Okay. So my last question, because we've been on here, and I appreciate the time that was here, that was spent. Every moment of it was of value and worth and amazing. You are a phenomenal mind, and I appreciate you and that dynamic royal family that you ascend and descend from. Y'all amazing. Okay, you're about to be my favorite people.
Oh,
So y'all are
I'm all
doing
the
a
block.
lot. Y'all are doing a lot as a soul tribe, a soul union. You and your king. Do y'all prioritize self care, balance in the midst of all of these things that y'all doing? I know he's somewhere with the guitar in one hand and the book in another hand, and reminding the universe that he writes books with his wife right now. Right now. Okay. So is this a priority in y'all's life to care for self and care for the self that is y'all together?
Always, every day, every single day. We always, interestingly enough, I'll say this, and I just thought about this couple, the Williamses. I used to work with this elder couple, years ago. I just thought about them a few days ago. And I remember, now they're married and they are the second spouse of each other. They both were married before and their spouses transitioned right into the ether realm. Okay. So they would meet later in life and get married, right? And so I remember me and another sister that worked in the same place as well. Um, we asked Mr. Williams, we asked Mr. Williams, we asked him what was the secret to long lasting marriage, right? Because he was on his second wife as an older man, right? And they seem to have this really loving and delicious kind of relationship. And so we asked him, what is the secret? Is there a secret? And he said to us, I am always courting my wife. I'm always courting my wife. Now, Mrs. Williams, I don't know that we asked her the question, but I can remember one day he was walking toward us. We were all just talking and so forth. We used to work in a park setting. And it was a like museum, historical park. And so he was walking toward us one day. We were actually in one of the buildings and we were standing at the window so she could see him coming up the sidewalk, right? He was coming up to the building, but he was outside and he was walking toward the building. And we were standing at the window and you could see her just starting to light up, right? And I think we may have been talking about relationships in general or something. And she said, well, see that? That's something so many young people don't understand. Because right now, I see my husband coming up that sidewalk. I just feel him all in my bones. And she started shaking and giggling. And again, these are elders at the time. At that time, they were probably like in their 60s and 70s. You see? And she just started shaking her shoulders and she was just giggling. She was all giddy and glowing. She said, y'all don't know nothing about that, honey. And it was so sincere. It was obvious. It was so sincere and so genuine. Just watching her husband walk up the sidewalk. And at that point, they had probably been married maybe a little over 10 years. And again, remember, they both had apparently, so it seemed, successful marriages before each other, you see. So I say that to say, I know that that is something that we practice daily. We're always in that space of, like I said to you before, about we both come from tribes that taught us to be kind and to treat others, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So we live by that principle. We were brought up on that principle. And that's a principle that we carry over into our relationship with each other and our friendship with each other and our marriage to each other. So we're always in that space of, I guess, courting, the courtship. So that is the self-care of us individually and as a union. Hmm. Are you still there,
I
brother?
love it.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
love it. I gotta
Hmm.
let
You just let
I
it
let the clock
marinate.
fly. Yes, I'm telling you, like you got life jewels over here,
Yeah.
saving
Let it
lives
marinate.
and marriages and families. So black love cannot be a myth. Okay, black love is real. You know,
Yeah.
it's real.
Oh, yeah.
And it stood the test of time. Black love created time. Black love created the universe.
That's
Black
right.
love created the universal God force that
I
governs
say.
it. It's that dark matter. It's that dark energy. It's that Big Bang.
I say.
That Big Bang. Oh, sucky. I thank you for your time and for your love and your candor and your jewels and your stories. Okay. They are amazing. They are empowering. They are powerful and fruitful. And I look forward to having you and your king on together so I can hear y'all gush over each other and, bat your eyes over each other and share the reality of life in Black Love. You got any final remarks, closing remarks, where people can find you? One more time, what's going on from August 4th through the 6th? And if people are looking to collaborate with you or your king, or y'all together, or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to say what you want to say, please.
Finding us, I'm Butterfly Brooks. There's pretty much only one, at least that's authoring. Facebook, Instagram, same handle. Same thing with Thaddeus Kane. He's on Facebook and Instagram. Of course, you can find our books on Amazon, Kobo, everywhere books are sold, really. Barnes & Noble. And, of course, our website, butterflybrooks.com or platinumquill.com. And, if all else fails, you can Google us. And I will say one thing about, again, marriage. This just came to me. Is right before you were saying, do you want to share any final thoughts? I want to also add the importance of humor, laughter. Laughter can save the day. And I'll end it there.
You treated us like one of them books. You just left us with a cliffhanger. Like, wait, what happened? Is it like, wait, the movie? I was watching the movie.
No, it can laughter inside of a relationship, inside of a friendship. It will save the day. It'll save that relationship. It can save that marriage. It can save that friendship in that moment. Learn to laugh. Always let there be laughter. Let there be humor. Laugh at yourself, laugh at each other, laugh with each other.
I love that. This has been amazing. I'm looking forward to the next opportunity for us to collaborate and
absolutely
build and do what we need to do, because I'm in love with Black Love like y'all is. So I'm rooting for the win. Okay. I'm rooting for the win. I'm here for the victory. Okay.
Yeah, we're ever grateful for sitting in your swirl. We appreciate you for the opportunity to share.
This has been phenomenal. You enjoy the rest of your day and keep on writing. Okay. Vanguard for Black Love.
Okay? By any wings necessary, brother love. Blessings to you and yours.
Necessary. Likewise.
Yo, super Casanova, super cat promoter, lion, no fire glow, super karaoke. This is poetic dopamine, better than Coca-Cola. I'm dopamine, open stream, I be choking cobra, snake charmer, brain macabre, ancient great karma, see the Rams Day in this diaphragm, diorama, diurnal herbalist, moving diagram, watching my vision is panoramic, with it, it's subbotanic, flower child, showered in clouds, my soul expanded, life is a design, why didn't you know the planet? Polish up knowledge, my wisdom will coat the planet, I get it, I'm so demanding, supply, gotta cut the wire, run traditional umbilical cord inside the cipher as a baby, grab the mic instead of a pacifier, melody appetizer, beware buyer, this is some rare fire, sit in a chair higher, giving a spare tire, you're on your last lap like a stripper that just retired, now I mean my queen seem to be sweeter than the papaya, I move far away from ninjas to wear blinders, gold colored contacts, solar power guard rap, no one can doubt that I'm that lyrical exerciser, spiritual advisor, and I'm the kind of man that miracles admire, minerals are minor, I majored in all required to complete the grand arcanum, leaping the phantom quantum, Phoenician the fire blossom, come reach for this higher doctrine, Mayan shaman, mind boggling, reach to the time I'm all the skin, moccasins, forgotten sins, common men, nature, eager time sovereigns, making bullet points, lacking freedom is a problem, carry extra magazines, like they speaking in your column, I came from the center, never started from the bottom, got your children in school, being smart is an option, rhyme book, encyclopedia uses written in the margins, listening to Marvin, sexual healing, my medicine is revealing that the stars in the sky got ancestors in the ceiling. Moods of Allah in my hand gestures. Zodiac gang signs, it's the grand netter. Time slipping through our fingers, fit a sand texture. Chandelier in the ceiling full of ancestors. Moods of Allah in my hand gestures. Zodiac gang signs, it's the grand netter. Chandelier in the sky full of ancestors. Show you clear, maybe you can understand better. Yes. Zodiac lay shower me. Spirits from above, those who passed away flower me. Allah's intelligence, I made out when they encountered me. Effortlessly writing new verse before you count to 3. With a sound to see, the sight to hear, the taste of beauty. My ancestors in the sky told me make a movie. It's the mega Sufi, something like a mega Sufi. The grand makers open bars, I can make the zoo free. I'm giving season passes to the secret passage. Not a tunnel, but a chapter, unreleased status. Slow gases, mine ain't fast enough to beat molasses. Midget at a strip club, arms ain't long enough to reach the masses. See the Phoenix resurrected if you read the ashes. Cross me, you'll be seeing axes. Reenactors needed atlas like IG tags. Meet me at the Atlas, bullet train, bloodshot eyes from drinking out your reading glasses. Zodiac's name, crack your brain, rappers slain, master pain. I make hits, they making Cassius claims older than Apostle Luke age. Smoke pop with Luke Cage, the Bush master, Mussolini, Galactica. Houdini couldn't see me with a crystal ball, eagle, regal, seeking all lies to plot a dream for y'all. I push past the vision y'all look after. Clear while I'm the finisher here like wood lacquer. Shooting star comedy type like good laughter. Heavy still like a waiter when I walk on with toast. God's called me on the power here. I'm talking with ghosts like sun rays in the seance. I slice like a radiant. Zodiac real estate kingdom of the avians. He's up above us, they thinking that I'm Canadian. KZ the chosen A-bomb. I wrote the A psalm. Magician that can open they palm. Exploded napalm. King Kong, Kami high. Exploded A-palm with granite countertop. Holding wishes in my palm. I granted Megalodon, Megatron, and stretching my mind's height. Tap the splitter subtly. I'm Gregory hindsight. Moods of Allah in my hand gestures. Zodiac gang signs, it's the grand netter. Time slipping through our fingers, fit a sand texture. Chandelier in the ceiling full of ancestors. Moods of Allah in my hand gestures. Zodiac gang signs, it's the grand netter. Chandelier in the sky full of ancestors. Show you clear, maybe you can understand better. Questions you ask. Can you hear him as a spirit and the flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task to exhale beauty in each breath that you have. Show me camera, you're the answers to the questions you ask. Can you hear him as a spirit and flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task. Exhale beauty in each breath that you have. The misunderstood tales on the Gemini new moon. Mind control children that were hypnotized too soon. We don't miss out on this plane, live in a huge room. It's hypnotic like you tripped in a few shrooms. My lips to the newsroom, the wisdom removes gloom. Are you aware of what you're meant to create? The eternal narrative because it's still in the shape. Gotta keep your mind firm so the pillars won't break. Though they tired, hold the fire, keep the children awake. So desired, so admired, I am here to create. Most of liars thought flyers, gods appearing from space. In the mind we dwell, we rise and fell. It's time to tell the dying spell that's casted on you. Master royal magic oil, grab the soil, static coils in my head. Signal stronger, sigil draw, lift your aura, hear your daughter's self-esteem where healthy means. I'm the definition, it's time for recognition. My mind has premonitions collide with nepotism. gears within years provide the mechanism. And the holy clock is going, talk forever seems dead. Most my ancient ghosts spoken to the Elohim, don't say a dream. They told me once, they said that you can get it if it's written. What your soul wants, you should pursue. A fools will laugh and look at you. I hope to pass these books to you. Hating heaven's tall, the impatient young and prayed and swung, the matrix never falls. Holy temple architecture, I am making better walls. Huge acoustic truth and music dancing in the halls of the land of loose. Expand your roots and chanting flutes. Man salutes the grand commute. I plan my boots, awaken to it all. Believe in you, my penny, you've been waiting for your call. I hand them truth, they plan to shoot, but they ain't got the ball. So you camera, you're the answers to the questions you ask. Can you hear it, man's spirit and the flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task to exhale beauty in this breath that you have. So you camera, you're the answers to the questions you ask. Can you hear it, man's spirit and the flesh is a mask? You were written in the book of life, left with a task. Exhale beauty in each breath that you have.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. That in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm a African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm a African. I'm a African. I'm a African. I'm a. Let's get
And
back
that
to the
motive
gritty
is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.